Blessings and welcome to the path to freedom and this beautiful space where we get to raise our vibration, where we get to expand our consciousness, where we get to set ourselves free from fears and worries and doubts, from stories, beliefs, from small and limited perceptions and judgments and opinions, so that we may soar, so that we may shine, so that we may glow in ways beyond imagination, so that we may be beneficial presences here on this planet, so that we may assist in the midwifing of the new world that is emerging, so that we may be pioneers, allowing for the new consciousness of humanity to emerge, to midwife it. It is emerging, it is being midwifed, but we need to participate in that. So we need to step up our game. We need to really raise our vibration, and we do really need to expand our consciousness, so to facilitate that midwifing. And this is the not topic for today, but I've had some requests to record a prayer for world peace, or for the world, really. And so that is what this what today is about. So this is a prayer, a six-step spiritual mind treatment, or an affirmative prayer, if you will, being spoken on the behalf of the world and the human consciousness, and for the expansion of it, for the releasing and letting go of that which no longer serves, which is quite a lot. Which is quite a lot. And so my name is Daniel Roquillo, and I'm very grateful and honored that you're choosing to join me, and that you're choosing to participate in this deep work that we are doing. Because whenever any one of us has an insight, expands our consciousness, raises our vibration, the whole is affected. None of us is separate. None of us is set apart from everything else. But there is one consciousness, there's one field, there's one love, there's one life, there's one God, there's one loving presence. There is only one, and we're all unique, perfect, whole, and complete expressions of this the one, or emanations, if you will, of the one. We're not parts of it anymore. And then the wave is a part of the ocean, but the wave is the ocean expressing itself in a unique, perfect way, as the wave. And so it is with every single one of us. So the work that we are doing on ourselves, we can be sitting in our closets, or in our living rooms, in our backyards, not speaking to anyone. And yet the work that we do on ourselves, within ourselves, affects the whole. Kind of like that beautiful statement that goes, high tide lifts all boats. High tide lifts all boats. So when that tide comes into the marina, all boats are being lifted. Not just one boat, or not just a couple of boats, but all boats are being lifted by that high tide. And similarly, the work that we do on ourselves and within ourselves, it affects the whole. It affects the all. So I'm very grateful that you're joining me, that you're choosing to participate in this, even if the words may not necessarily flow through you in this moment, in this prayer, but you're still here. You're still tuning into the field. You're contributing to the field and allowing it to expand, to flow through you into the allness of it all. And so without further ado, I invite us to make ourselves comfortable. I invite us to close our eyes. I invite us to put a smile on our faces. And as always, we want to begin and we want to end in gratitude. So let's begin in gratitude. And so in this now moment, how good it is to be here. How good it is to be in such a space where peace is, where joy is, where harmony is, where wholeness is. How grateful I am that I get to release and let go of worldly conditions and circumstances. Yes, I know they're happening out there. But coming back to the nowness of this moment, coming deep into the nowness of this moment, really grounding ourselves, centering ourselves, anchoring ourselves. We're stepping out of time. We're stepping out of past. We're stepping out of future. We're even stepping out of the present moment. We're coming into the eternal moment. And this is where the peace resides. This is where love resides. This is where harmony and wholeness reign supreme, abundance, beauty. They're always here in the nowness of this moment. I'm so grateful that they are so accessible. I'm so grateful to be walking this beautiful path of continuously setting ourselves free. To not let the world touch us. To not let the world move us. Where we get to set ourselves free, to stand firm in the knowing that all is well, even when it doesn't look like it. In the knowing that something wonderful is happening, even when it doesn't feel like it. In the full knowing that everything is working for our highest good, even when there's nothing that our physical senses can pick up that would support this. This is what it means to be walking this path. And this is why we're leaning into this prayer, not to change the world, but to treat our own minds to know that all is well now. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the power of prayer. I'm grateful for the power of these words, absolutely knowing that these are not my words. Absolutely knowing that I'm but a humble servant and instrument. Just like the light bulb is an instrument for electricity to reveal itself. So am I, so are we instruments for the loving presence that is all there is to express itself. And so I'm grateful that I am here. I'm grateful that I get to speak these words. And I'm grateful that you are choosing to join into this space. I'm grateful for your presence. I'm grateful for your willingness to stand in service of the world. I'm grateful for your willingness to raise your vibration, to expand your consciousness. And as we do, the whole universe rises up to meet us here in this expanded consciousness, which is not really expanded. It's just consciousness that is perhaps otherwise contracted. But now we're setting the consciousness free to be what it is. And experiences will follow. Experiences will follow. Consciousness always precedes form. So thank you for being willing to do this work. So it is from this knowing, from this feeling tone of gratitude and appreciation, of joy, that I know, that I recognize, that I remember that there is only one thing here. This loving presence that is all there is. That is the one and only mind. That is the one and only source of everything. The one and only life. The one and only power. The one and only intelligence. This loving presence that is infinite love, infinite peace, infinite joy, infinite harmony, infinite wholeness, infinite beauty, infinite abundance. This loving presence that is limitless, that is boundless, that is eternal, that is infinite. That is all there is. That is always for itself. It is benevolent. It is benevolence. And so it is always for itself. It is loving as it is love. Always in a state and space of progression, of moving forward, of revealing more of itself. Seeking to come into ever greater and grander expressions of itself in, as, and through all of creation, because it is the creator, it is the creation, there is nothing in between. There's not this loving presence in something else. There are no dualities. There are no opposites. There is no other power. It's only it. Being itself, doing itself, living itself, expressing itself, revealing itself in us and through all of creation. So it is eternally sourcing and fueling and funding itself. It is eternally guiding and leading and moving itself into that expansion, into that progression, making sure that all needs are met everywhere, in every moment. And it is always expressing itself perfectly. There are no meaningless acts. There are no random acts. God is not ever late. God is not ever early. It's always right on time. Divine and perfect timing always happening. Divine and perfect action always happening. Divine and perfect activity always happening. Divine and perfect order reigns supreme. And we are one with this loving presence. We are what it is, and it is what we are. Just like the wave is always one with the ocean, just like the sunbeam is always one with the sun, we are inseparable. We have never been. We could not ever be divided from, set apart from. But we are this loving presence expressing itself, being itself, doing itself in us and through us in such a beautiful, magnificent, and powerful way. We're standing, living, moving, having our beingness in absolute oneness with this loving presence. It is all there is. It is all there is. And it is from this awareness of oneness, absolute oneness, of absolute unity, that I know that as we are witnessing and observing conditions and circumstances, turmoil, calamity, struggling, suffering, pain, violence, madness, insanity here on this planet, everything that is happening per beautiful divine design. I know that all is well. I'm not denying the suffering. I'm not denying the experiences that people are having. I'm not denying that people are suffering. I'm not denying that there's violence happening. I'm not denying that there's things that need to be released and let go of. I'm not denying that things are messed up, that there are issues, that there are challenges that need to be resolved. I'm not denying any of that, but I know that even in the midst of this, all is well. There is a divine pattern here. There's divine order here. This loving presence is always for itself. It is never ever denying itself anything. It is never ever withholding anything. So even in the midst of this, even in the midst of the calamity, even in the midst of these challenges, peace is here. Love is here. And joy is here. Harmony is here. So all is well. Something wonderful is happening. Everything is working for the highest good. Anything else, anything less would be this loving presence being against itself, going against itself. And that cannot be. But just like the snake needs to shed its skin to allow for the next great and grand version of who and what it is, just like the seeds, any seed needs to crack open to allow for the seedling, to allow for the roots and the shoots to happen. So are we now being beautifully moved into these challenges. And a challenge is nothing but a gift and a blessing of transformation, an invitation, a wake-up call, a springboard that we may become aware of what is no longer working, so that we may become aware of the small and the limited, that which no longer serves. So there are systemic issues that no longer serve. Might makes right. I have bigger bombs than you, so I have the right to invade you. I am stronger than you, so I get to boss you around. All these perceptions, all these notions, all these stories and beliefs that we are holding on in our collective human consciousness, this insane collective human consciousness. All these are now coming to the surface, where we get to witness and observe them, where we get to say, hey, I'm standing for something different. I'm no longer going to just silently, passively observe and be an observant, be a bystander. But we're being called to make new choices. We're being called to choose differently. And so the healing is happening now. Even in the midst of this, the healing is happening. Healing begins with the awareness. Healing begins and continues with the embracing and allowing, not reacting, not resisting, not denying, but embracing and allowing that which is to be as it is. And from that space of embracing and allowing and witnessing and observing that which is, we get to make new choices. That is the healing process. And this process is happening now. In the infinite mind of God, the highest possibility, the highest potential for humanity, for this planet, for this world, it already exists. So the world where everybody gets to be safe, where everybody gets to have their needs met, where everything is a beautiful expression of love and light, that possibility already exists in this infinite mind. So we're not creating something new. We're not inventing anything new. We're merely tapping into, we're merely locking onto a higher frequency, a higher vibration. We're locking onto a higher possibility. And as we're locking onto that, and as we are turning our attention more toward the possibilities that are here, the opportunities that are here, as we are more and more turning our attention toward what it is that we wish to experience, turning our attention away from complaining, bemoaning, resisting, denying, we're allowing that possibility to emerge. We're making it welcome. We make ourselves open and available for it to emerge in us and through us, because it is not going to come from outside of us. The oak tree did not come flying in bits and pieces, put together by some divine gardener. But the oak tree emerged from within the acorn. The butterfly emerged from within the chrysalis, from the dissolution of the caterpillar. The baby emerges from within the womb of the mother. So we need to participate. We need to hold the vision of the world we wish to experience. And this is happening now. If humanity wasn't ready for this leap in consciousness, all the things that we're seeing now, they wouldn't be here. We wouldn't see them. We wouldn't be aware of them. But now they are in our awareness, and they are here. They are visible because we are ready. So nothing is missing. Nothing is lacking. Everything that we need to allow for the next great and grand version of humanity, it is here. It is now. It is not going to come in some future moment. And this world is not going to emerge in some future moment. God is always a now thing. Manifestation is never a future thing. So this is happening now. The healing is happening now. The expansion is happening now. The peace is happening now. The joy is happening now. The harmony is happening now. The love is happening now. We all are it. And we're all contributing in midwifing that which is happening. That which is. So it is happening now, and it is happening with ease and grace. And everything that is happening now, it is happening for the highest good of all. Not just for the highest good of the few, but the highest good of all. Because there is no few. There is only the one. There is only the all. There is only consciousness. There is only creation. And everything is working for the highest good of all of creation, in beautiful alignment with the will of Spirit, this loving presence. So all is well. Something wonderful is happening. Everything is working for our highest good. And as we do the inner work of sustaining this knowing, sustaining this vibration, sustaining this expanded consciousness, as we do the inner work of sustaining the feeling tone that all is well, we make ourselves open and available to be the channels, to be the instruments, to be the vehicles through which the outpicturing of that vibration may emerge. We all need to step up our game. We all need to do the inner work, because it is work. But everything that we need is here. All the strength, all the courage, all the willingness, all the resources, everything is here now. It is within every single one of us. We are lacking nothing. We are missing nothing. We are it all. And so I know that we are blessed. I'm blessing every single being that is having an experience of suffering. I'm blessing every single being that are participating or that are affected by wars, by violence, by ignorance, unawareness. I'm blessing us all. I'm blessing us all, knowing that we are blessed beyond imagination. I'm blessing us all, knowing that all is well. I'm blessing us all, knowing that something wonderful is happening. I'm blessing us all, knowing that everything is working for the highest good. Just like that lily on the field that doesn't need to spin or toil or struggle or effort, and yet it is so beautifully provided for. Yet all of its needs are met. So it is with us. There's nothing we need to do to be provided for. There's nothing we need to do to be sourced, fueled, and funded. There's nothing we need to do to have all of our needs met, other than to trust that this is so. Other than to trust that this is so. So know that we're blessed. I know that we are blessed. And I know that we are blessings. Each and every single one of us. For this and so much more, I give thanks. I give thanks knowing that this is already done, that this is already happened in the infinite mind, and that it is happening now here in this dimension. I give thanks knowing that this is happening with ease and grace, that there's nothing against this. There's nothing against the expansion that is happening. There's nothing against the love that is happening. There's nothing against the healing that is happening, other than the small and the limited, the unconsciousness, the unawareness, the insanity. But just like darkness is not a thing in and of itself, but darkness is only absence of light, so it is with unconsciousness and ignorance and unawareness. These are not things in and of themselves. They're just absence of consciousness. Consciousness being obscured, covered up. And everything is now working for the uncovering, for unobscuring the light, the love that we all are, that wants to come through in such a big, big way. So it is done, it is happening now. And I bow to this doneness. I surrender to this doneness. I allow it to demonstrate, to manifest itself here in this dimension, in us and through all beings, every single one, whether or not they are holding a rifle or a gun, driving a tank, pushing missile buttons, or whatever the case may be. There is only one here. There is only one here, and this one is set on expressing itself, revealing more of itself, more of the love, more of the peace, more of the joy, more of the harmony, more of the wholeness. It is happening now. It is happening now. It is done, and it is happening now. And I say, thy will be done. Thy will be done. I take my hands off of how this is to happen. I remove my bloated self from trying to figure out, from trying to micromanage, from trying to control the manifestation, the demonstration. And I let this loving presence that is all there is do its thing in us and through me. As Jesus said, it's not me that is doing the work. It's the Father within that is doing the work. It is not us who is doing anything. It is not us who is making anything happen. We are surrendering. We're getting out of the way. We're prying our fingers off of the steering wheel so that God, this loving presence, Spirit, may do its thing in us and through us. Thy will be done. Thy will be done. It is happening now. I let it happen. So it is. So be it. So shall it be. So we are. So this loving presence is, because it is all there is. Because it is all there is. Amen. Amen. Ashe. Aho. Hotep. Shalom. Salam. Hallelujah. Thank you so much for tuning in, for participating in midwifing the new, in allowing for healing to happen, in allowing for love to happen, in allowing for peace to happen in our consciousness and in the world. Until the next time, I bless all of our ways, and I bless all of our days, knowing as always that all is well, that something wonderful is happening, that everything is working for our highest good. And much love, many blessings.